Am I the antagonist flipping out on my fiance for canceling all the vegan food options from our wedding food menu behind my back? My fiance, 31 male, and I, 25 female, are getting married soon. There wasn't much that disagreed on during the wedding planning except for food. My family and I are vegans, and there are so many reasons why we chose this lifestyle, and one of them being that we have a history of health issues. My fiancé and his family are the complete opposite. They're hardcore meat eaters, which is fine by me, obviously. However, when deciding on the wedding food menu, I wanted to add 4 to 5 vegan options. My fiancé and his mom objected, saying it was a waste of money over food that isn't real food. They also argued that this would be offensive for their guests and suggested my vegan options just be the good old salads and appetizers. His mom wanted cupcakes, lol. I said no because for one it's me and my family who's paying. And two, I want to make my guests feel welcome and not be treated as second-class citizens by being served salad. My fiancé made a face and said, "Isn't that what vegans eat?" I refused to argue about it and said it was final. The other day, I found out that he had canceled all the vegan options and took them off the menu completely and behind my back. I was seething. I called him at work, but he kept hanging up on me. Furthermore, I went straight to his workplace and confronted him there and just flipped out on him. He was stunned to see me. He at first said it was his mom's idea, then told me to go home because I was making a scene at the office. The fight continued at home, and he defended himself by saying that I sort of made him resort to doing this after I kept brushing off his dough and input and refusing to accommodate his family. But there were plenty of meat options. Why can't I get 4 to 5 vegan options when I'm paying for it? He yelled that it was his wedding too, not my family's. My family said it was fine, and they'll figure it out and told me to let it go, but I refused. Am I the antagonist for putting my foot down on this? Update, so his mom messaged me earlier to try to get me to listen to what she had to say after I kept ignoring her phone calls. She spent long walls of text just to address what I did at her son's workplace, calling it all kinds of stuff from immature to unhinged. She then went to explain how she's noticed that my family and I kept acting dismissive of her son's input and contributions to the wedding. Furthermore, she said that she noticed my behavior towards him and her entire family and wanted to speak up earlier but didn't and tried to keep the peace. She then went on to address the food menu issue and denied her involvement in the cancellation of the vegan option, but that didn't mean she doesn't support her son's decision. Moreover, she thought it was so responsible for him to make that move because of my continual refusal to see how this stuff is a waste of money. She also pointed out how I kept saying I paid for it and said that technically this isn't just my money, it's mine and is because we're getting married. She suggested I wise up and get rid of my money, I paid for it mentality. She finally mentioned how bad this whole situation is making me look and said that she and her son had already offered a number of compromises that I chose to brush off and decided to make it my weird hill to die on. Furthermore, she said that not only her son is upset, but she and the family are as well after hearing about it and suggested I just agree on their compromise and be done with it. This pissed me off beyond belief. I responded by letting her know that I'm still standing my ground on this even if I'll have to call the whole wedding off because of it, because honestly, this is just ridiculous, it is. My mom and dad, they don't even know what to say anymore. Apparently, my fiancé saw my response to her, he's with her, and is now trying to call me, but right now I'm waiting on him to get home and see if he's still insisting on the stance he took. I'll update if there's anything worth adding after we talk. A wedding is meant to be something you plan together, as a couple. He decided to not take you and your family's beliefs seriously and should be a major red flag. In your update, it nearly sounds like his mom is trying to gaslight you. Don't agree to their compromise, and start really considering if you want to deal with all of this for the rest of your life. Am I the antagonist for asking a coworker to switch days with me, even though it goes against her religious beliefs? So, my sister just passed away during childbirth, and her funeral is on Saturday. I was very close to her, and I don't want to miss it. It can't be rescheduled because there's friends and family coming from out of town, and it would mess up their schedule. Our family was heartbroken. It happened so abruptly. My dad's even coming from out of state for this, and he rarely comes here. We have an entire nursery we can't even use. I asked for Saturday off at work to go to the funeral, but I would have to swap out with my coworker, who never works Saturdays because of her religion. I asked her, and she said that while she understood, she can't come on that day. Furthermore, I pleaded again and again, but she wouldn't budge and told me to stop asking. She won't even work on this one day, even though my sister literally died. I got a heads up from my manager that if I harassed her anymore, I would get written up. I talked with my mom and stepdad about this, and my stepdad is on my side, while my mom said I shouldn't insult someone's religion, and I was wrong for even asking. Furthermore, I need this closure, and I'm super frustrated and depressed, and my coworker isn't even talking to me now, and some of my other coworkers said I shouldn't have asked in the first place. Am I the antagonist? Edit. For those asking, my place only has 2 people who work freezer. That's me and my religious coworker. If I could ask someone else to take over, I would. Update. Hello everyone. I am so thankful for all the feedback I've received, positive and negative, and though everyone's answers have been all over the place, I just wanted to let you all know that I have apologized to my coworker. She understood and said it's okay, though my other coworkers are salty that I disrespected her religion, as most of them follow the same religious beliefs. It's a predominantly Jewish community where I work. As I'm a minor, I'm really thankful for those of you who gave me good advice on the employment laws, how I can leave in the case of a family emergency like this, and I will be contacting her about them. If she fires me, whatever, she's severely understaffed anyway, it's her loss. For those of you saying that this is fake, I can assure you, it's not. It's just a weird coincidence, and I hope that some of you didn't go to the other poster and harass them the same way you did me. I haven't even seen the fucking post, and this is on a new account because my boss uses Reddit and I don't want her to trace this back to me if she finds it. This has blown up very quickly, and I'd like to say thanks. It's given me lots of good comments. And lastly, those harassing me about a few typos I made earlier and fixed, you all need to chill. I messed up on a post I didn't bother to go back and edit at the time. No need to crucify me. Anyhow, thanks for all the feedback and support, and I will work on reading through all of your comments, though it may take a while, because I am still at work. Have a good day/night, you all, and thank you. Update number 2. Those of you saying I'm the asshole for asking more than once, imagine if the person you love most in your life died. Wouldn't you plead to get to go to their funeral? Wouldn't you ask more than once? You should not have to be responsible for filling your own shift. Your sister died. Call in sick and turn your phone off if you need to. From your update, it looks like you know this now and are taking the advice on appropriately. I'm sorry for your loss and all the best going forward. Am I the antagonist for asking my brother to evict my parents because they've asked me to give up my room to my stepsister? I'm 16 female and have an older brother who is the owner of the house we live in. He is my half-brother, same moms. I live with my dad, stepmom and stepsister, 17, in the house. My brother let my dad and I stay in this house because we were evicted from the previous place as my dad had lost his job and couldn't pay rent. It's a 3-bed house, so currently my stepsister and I have our own room and I have the bigger room with my own bathroom. She doesn't have her own bathroom. My stepsister is 6 months pregnant. When she was 3 months pregnant, my dad and stepmom told me that once the baby is born, her boyfriend is going to move in with us, and they will need 2 rooms, one for them and one for the baby. So they offered to clear out the shed we have outside for my stuff and I can sleep on the couch at nights. I'm not happy about this. I talked to my brother, and he agreed this is unreasonable. So I asked him if he can just evict my parents, so I don't have to deal with my stepmom and stepsister anymore. My brother suggested that I move in with him so that I won't live there when they are served the eviction notice, as he was worried that they would blame me, and it wouldn't be nice if I was living there. So just about a week ago, my stepsister's boyfriend moved in as well. I have now moved in with my brother, and they have been served the eviction notice, which is 2 months. My dad, stepmom, and stepsister have been calling me nonstop asking me to convince my brother to reconsider and calling me heartless. My stepsister texted me saying I'm the biggest asshole she's ever met because I'm making her homeless at the peak of her pregnancy, and it's her baby that I'm punishing. Am I an asshole? Edit, FYI, we were living there rent-free. Your brother is no relation to your dad or stepmother, so the only reason he even let you guys live there was for you. If they aren't letting you live in the house, he has no reason to let them stay and could be making a lot more money with other tenants, so it's actually to his benefit to eviction them. They don't need a separate room from the child. They need to all sleep together in one room so when the baby cries, they definitely hear the baby crying and can tend to the baby's needs. Am I the antagonist for being upset that wealthy boyfriend got me a cheap gift? My 21 female boyfriend, 21 male, comes from a wealthy family, and I am from a middle-class family. His family went on a cruise, and all the siblings and their S/Os came along. I was happy to be there and very grateful that his parents invited me. At one point, everyone was sitting down together and my boyfriend started bringing out gifts. His parents and siblings and their S/Os got things like watches, dresses, fine wines, and other clearly expensive things. When he got to me, he gave me one of those plastic bracelets with their company name on it. You can get those at the company's main headquarters for free. I was a little taken aback and a little embarrassed, but didn't want to be rude. Everyone was kind of looking at me in a way that they were both amused and also pitiful. I didn't want to complain, so I said thanks and moved on. When we got inside, I asked my boyfriend what that was about, and he told me to be grateful and stop complaining because he always gets me nice gifts, which is true. I just stopped pushing it because I felt like I was being selfish there, and he did have a point. I feel like what he did was very degrading. He could have gotten me no gift at all, and that would have been less humiliating. I feel like trash for feeling this way, but he's always been mindful, and I don't understand why he did that. It made me feel cheap in front of everyone. IDK, am I the antagonist for feeling this way and even bringing it up? Update, to address some commonly asked questions, my boy and I have been dating for 2 years. His family and I get along very well. His parents paid for the cruise for everyone. Update 2, so, someone pointed out that it's actually called a yacht and not a cruise. It's his family's yacht and his parents paid for us, meaning they paid for the chefs, butlers, plane tickets to come out to that place. I didn't know there was a difference. Minor detail, but yeah. Even though his family might be acting very nice towards you, they may be suspicious that you are only with your boyfriend for money. So this might have been a test, and or a way of improving to them that you don't care about material things. Am I the antagonist for giving a girl a fake phone number to ring me? I, 18 male, was at the bar the other day with a friend. We were just chatting about work and family and stuff like that when a girl came up to us. Now, my friend and I are both 18 and have grown up together. The girl that came up to us was at least 28, which made both me and my friend super uncomfortable. My friend isn't really into the dating thing right now, and I got dumped about 2 to 3 months ago, so I don't really feel like dating again yet either. She comes over and starts flirting with me. She told us a bit about her life and about how her boyfriend dumped her, but when we asked why, she refused to tell us. We smiled and listened to what she had to say, but after about 30 minutes we were getting tired of listening to this girl speak about her job opportunities in Canada. My friend made the signal for let's get out of here, go someplace else. So we went to stand up and leave, and the girl goes, "Hey, you ain't going anywhere till you give me your number, honey." In one of those flirty tones. I told her I'm not into dating right now, but thanks. She says, "Not even for me, honey boo?" This went on for another 5 or 6 minutes until my friend tells me to just give her a fake number. So I did. I wrote down a bunch of numbers and told her that, just because you're a looker, then me and my friend grabbed our coats and left. I'm not the kind of person that is attracted to people because they look nice, but it was just to get her to shut up and leave us alone so we could leave. My friend went back to the bar today with a couple of work friends, and the bartender pulls him aside. Turns out the bartender knew the girl, and she told him that I wasn't picking up. When my friend told him it was a fake number to get her to leave us alone, the guy said that it was a really sick move. He said that she was just trying to get with someone and that she was lonely. He said we should have just told her we weren't interested, and now she is all upset. My friend told him we told her that we weren't looking to date right now, but she wouldn't back off. He called both me and my friend dickheads and to not come back to the bar. So, am I the antagonist? Let's just imagine what would happen if the gender roles were reversed. You're not obliged to give your number to anyone, especially after you've made it clear you're not interested. That woman was harassing you. Am I the antagonist for laughing at my stepsister for wanting to be my maid of honor and telling her that I will never see her as my real family? My mama married my stepdad Pete when I was 10, but he and his daughter Lacey had lived with us since I was 9. Lacey is a year younger than me, for reference. Lacey really is not a good person, and I'm not sure why. Since Pete is a good person, I've never met Lacey's mom. Lacey would say stuff like, "EW. You look/sound like a trans guy." She also used autistic as an insult, and once when my friend was teaching me ASL, Lacey saw us and said, "Why are you flapping your arms? You all look like disabled kids." In middle school, Lacey made fun of me often, and Mama and Pete would say it was just Lacey's sense of humor, and she didn't mean any harm. She stopped in high school because then our parents put their foot down with Lacey, but Lacey still made fun of kids at school, and she honestly hasn't changed much since middle school. It's why Lacey and I have no relationship, and I only see her as Pete's bio kid and not my sister. I am getting married in September, but my fiance and I have been planning our wedding since 2020. We were engaged in January, but we decided to wait to have our wedding after the pandemic and some other personal events. We had confirmed all our bridesmaids and maid of honor since the beginning of this year. Lacey asked to meet at our parents' house and showed up in this extravagant white dress while saying that I should tell my bridesmaids to get similar dresses because she wanted them to match the maid of honor herself. Again, our wedding is in a month and Lacey hadn't even asked me about being a bridesmaid. I laughed out loud because I honestly thought it was a joke. I realized Lacey was serious, and I told her that there must have been a misunderstanding because my best friend, Aurora, is my maid of honor. Lacey started saying some really vile stuff about Aurora and that she was supposed to be the maid of honor because she's family. I told Lacey that she has an ugly attitude and that I will never see her as my real family because she acts like people are below her. Lacey started yelling at me, but I told her I wasn't dealing with her and left. My fiance and friends say that Lacey was being seriously entitled, and I don't owe her to let her be my maid of honor, especially when she's always been so nasty. But my parents said that what I told Lacey was cruel. Because even though we didn't get along well for most of our lives, Lacey reaching out to be my maid of honor is a sign she wants to have a bigger role in my life. Mama and Pete said I was wrong when I told Lacey I don't see her as my real family, and I am implying that stepfamily can't be real family. I didn't and still don't see my statement to Lacey that way, because it was about Lacey's attitude and not her being a stepsister. But since Mama and Pete both saw it that way, I'm not sure if I was being out of line. Am I the antagonist? Your mom and stepdad are enablers to Lacey, which is one reason she's so entitled. Nothing she did during that presentation was an olive branch. You don't need an excuse to have whoever you want in your wedding party, and you certainly don't need to have people there that won't make you happy.